Hi, I'm Stacey Abrams, and I'm happy to collaborate with Earth Day Live to lift up the importance of protecting our planet and ensuring a safe and healthy future for all. In 2020, completing 3 important actions will put us on the path to a sustainable future. We must vote, we must complete the 2020 census, and we must demand that our leaders champion environmental protections. Together, these 3 acts will help us build the political power needed to protect and sustain our communities for generations to come. The communities most vulnerable to the effects of climate change and COVID-19, such as communities of color, low-income communities, the indigenous communities, and young people. They are often the targets of voter suppression tactics designed to steal both their voices and their political power. Voter suppression comes in many forms. Strict voter ID laws that require forms of identification that cost time and money just to obtain, and they may be impossible to fulfill. Polling place closures, vote-by-mail restrictions, or limited early voting options that disadvantage those who work for an hourly wage or who lack reliable transportation. Yet even in the age of COVID-19, as we should come together to protect our society, too many are determined to use this moment of crisis for political gain, by forcing voters to choose between their health and their futures through voting. We witnessed this horrific choice in Wisconsin when leaders turned their backs on our fellow Americans. We must advocate for safe and accessible options like vote by mail and CDC-compliant in-person voting, while fighting for every eligible voter to be able to cast their ballot and have that ballot counted. Voting by mail is easy, secure, and the healthiest way to allow those who cannot vote from home to be heard. For the disabled, the displaced, and those who require assistance, voting by mail makes it safer for those who must vote in person. We need vote by mail options in place all over the country to protect our democracy while also protecting our communities. You can find out more information on vote by mail and more at earthdaylive2020.org. In addition to a critically important election, 2020 is also the year that we must complete the census. This once-a-decade count of all of the people who live in America is vital to the future of our democracy. The census allocates $1.5 trillion through more than 300 federal programs, and these impact our communities through our schools, our hospitals, our roads and bridges. The result of the census will also guide reapportionment, which determines the number of congressional leaders each state has, and redistricting, which determines how political lines are drawn for congressional districts, city councils, even school zones. Your participation in the census will directly impact how well equipped your community is to handle the impact of climate change. In 2020, we have the opportunity to elect representatives who reflect our values and put environmental protections at the forefront. No one deserves to be ridden out of the narrative of America for the next decade, and so we must all be counted. To harness this power and make real change, we must take action to ensure the health and safety of ourselves, our communities, and the next generation. So let's get it done.